Hey there, guys. We're going to be going back to the three lower realms for the budget run. Now, this time, the budget run is super easy just because there's no turn count limit. So, no items, no KOs, party of 4 or less. And because there's no turn count mission, you can just turtle up and take as long as you possibly want, and it's no problem at all. So, you can't bring a friend. But we're going to be taking this party. So the free Runda, just because he, is free and super good. We're going to be using Cacteria as a breaker. You can bring literally any breaker you want. We're going to be bringing Ling for like support stuff. She does a few killers. She does mitigations. But honestly, this is like super irrelevant. We don't really need any of that. And then Olivera is going to be just a DPS. The enemies are weak to either... I think it's Earth, Wind, or Darkness. We're going to go with Olivera because he tag chains and it makes it really easy. But again, there's no turn count limit. So, like, you could have Cacteria chain them down with Earth damage and it would be fine. It would just take a lot longer. But take any DPS unit you want. So, for every stage, we're going to have Runda start off with his LB. That's going to put up mitigation. He auto covers physical, etc. We're going to have Ling every stage do spirited movements for magic mitigation, purifying dance for status immunity, and then moving dance for a stat buff. Cacteria is going to do cactus break. This turn, if her LB is ready, you can do that as well. And Olivera is going to inspiring, rehearsal, and then double tag. And then next turn, we'll use Olivera's LB. But as you'll notice right here, like just the tag chaining does a ton of damage. So if your Olivera is the only EX1, you don't have an auto LB, you don't need to use LB, it's totally fine. As you can see, it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, so we're going to use, just so we can go into the next phase with a big LB gauge, we're going to use double passionate and then a refreshing twirl to top up the health. That'll give Cacteria her LB for next wave. And now we can just go ahead and use the LB of Olivera. But as you know, we could have very easily also done quad casting of the regular skills. Now we're not using anything expensive on this party. I think the only STMR I'm even using is Olivera's own. We're only using his own vision card as well. We're not using the banner card for the Dazzling Demon. But if you have it, by all means use it. You'll be even stronger. So once again, we'll just use Cacteria to LB. We'll just have Ling do stats, Magic Mitt, ailment immunity. We'll put up mitigation with Runda, and we'll do this to imperil the enemies, amplify darkness, instrument imperil, all that good stuff. And as you can see here, I could very easily OTK these guys, but OTKing would pretty much require an EX. Well, wouldn't require it, but you'd want to have an EX2 Olivera. But whatever. We don't really need it. So let's go ahead and just do this again. Now we could be doing killer buffs with White Dragon Ling. Like this one, I think is a Beast Plant. The first one was Human Undead, and the last ones are Beast Human. We are going to use a killer buff on Ling for the last wave because it is the last wave. But whatever. You don't really have to. Anyway, that second boss, as you saw, did some physical damage, which we evade covered with our Runda. So Ling, once again, will just stats, Spirited and Purifying. Runda will LB. Olivera will do his things. And again, these enemies are for the most part physical. They do have a little bit of magic that every now and then will bypass your cover. But we have mitigation. We have 45% magic mitt from Ling, 85% general mitt from Runda, etc. So we're going to go ahead and shift our Ling real quick. And we'll put a Beast and Human Killer just to make sure we kill these guys. So Beast and Human Killer. And again, we'll do the LB of Olivera. And this will probably be the end of it. If it's not, we can do Runda's LB that fills up half of Olivera's LB. And then we can use Ling to fill LB again and use an LB on the third turn as well. But here it is. Super easy. Whatever. So Runda is using Passive provoke, death immunity, evasion, status immunity. I don't know how much of this even matters. He took like no damage the whole clear, but there it is, I guess. You know? Ling is just using, again, just like some whatever, some LB fill, some, you know, spirit, etc. Shift form, geared identical. Cacteria is just using LB fill and spirit, but this is just put on whatever you want. And then Olivera. Oh, here we go. We're actually using two ST Mars, the Fabled Violin and the Formal Suit, but still, it's kind of whatever. And we're using killers versus primarily humans and leftover killers versus Beast. And then his own card. Like I mentioned, the Dazzling Demoness card is dramatically better, but, you know, it's more expensive. So maxed LB, we've got 300 human, 100 beast, 225 reaper, and 125 plant. That is all the killers for the bosses. And yeah, there was no turn count mission, so if that took longer, you know, don't worry about it. So yeah, there was the budget run. You could replace Olivera with any dark, earth, or wind unit you want and get it done. Okay, super easy. See you guys next time.